Okay guys, we're continuing on looking at my huge DVD collection. These ones are within a folder because I had to downgrade and get rid of the boxes at some point, so they're all in a folder. And we're in the S's, so we've got a couple Scrubs DVD taken over from last time. We had a few there as well. Got Shallow Hal, which actually is one of my favorite romantic comedies. Really enjoy Jack Black in this movie. Very, very funny. Like the premise of it. Think it's hilarious. Shaun of the Dead. One of the best zombie rom-coms. There aren't that many, but still a good one. Shawshank Redemption. Pretty much everybody loves this movie, don't they? Except for my boyfriend. He's the only person that doesn't like it. I prefer Green Mile, but yeah, Shawshank Redemption definitely within my top 100 movies, but not my top 10. I like Waterworld. He's wrong.
You think you do, but you don't.
No, I like Waterworld. I liked it before you. She's Out of My League. Really funny rom-com. I don't think very many people have heard of it, but it's quite a cute one. Shrek 2 and 3. I don't actually own Shrek 1. I do own it like on my computer. I've got a digital copy, but I don't own it as a DVD. So we've got Shrek 2 and 3 here. I do prefer Shrek 2. Shrek 2 is my favorite. Shrek 3, I think this was a cheap purchase because I can't imagine myself paying full price for it. Because it was that great. And I, just to warn you guys now, don't ever see Shrek 4. It is a horrible, horrible movie. Horrible. And the Puss in Boots movie as well. Even worse. Got Silk. I've never actually watched this, I don't think. Can't even remember what it's about. I think it's just some kind of love story. It looks like it from the disc there. Simone's a really cool, like, futuristic movie. I don't think many people went to see it. It's not a big, huge release, I think. It's about, like, genetic engineering, I believe. Got the Simpsons movie, which probably is in most people's DVD collections. We've got Singing in the Rain, because we've got to have some classics. That was a 2-disc set. We got Sleepless in Seattle. Really, really good 90s romantic comedy. Does have its few hang-ups, and it is very dated now, unfortunately, but still fun, because who calls into radio programs? Probably no one nowadays. You do not call into radio program. He's trying to raise his hand, but he's a liar. Okay, Small Soldiers. I absolutely love Small Soldiers. It is such a cheesy movie, but it's so good because it's so cheesy. I can remember wanting to see this movie because there literally was one X-File line in there. And that's why I went to see this movie. That's why I bought it in DVD. I know, ridiculous. But I really like this movie. I like the whole war between the toys. I think it came out, yeah, I think it came out about the same time as Toy Story, or just before Toy Story. So kind of that toys coming alive, and you've got to save the world from evil toys. Quite cool movie, though. Smart People, I don't think I've ever watched. Bought it because of Sarah Jessica Parker. I do like her movies usually, and Ellen Page, but never watched it. We've got Some Like It Hot, really good classic movie, of course. We've got this one, I'm not going to say the line, but Snakes on a Plane. Awesome, awesome movie with Samuel L. Jackson. I can remember seeing this in London and actually screaming out the line with everybody else in the audience. It was amazing. It was a full packed place, so it was really cool. So I Married an Axe Murderer. If you haven't seen it, guys, it is a really funny comedy. It's got Mike Myers in it, and he pretty much tries out all the voices from Austin Powers ahead of time. Like, you can see his influences, like, for Dr. Evil and Austin Powers in this, and he does a whole bunch of voices. It's a really funny movie, really good. Somewhere in Time is another time travel movie. Not the best one, but it's okay. It wants to be the Hallmark movie, The Love Letter, which I really love, but it's not quite making it. But it does take place, I think it takes place on Mackinac Island in Michigan, if I remember correctly. The South Park movie, because who doesn't own the South Park movie? You haven't lived if you've not seen the South Park movie, so everybody shall have seen it, I would assume, and most people will own it. It is an amazing movie, still holds up really well today, even with later seasons of South Park, and I still love South Park, so pop it in every once in a while, gotta watch it again, gotta listen to some of the songs. Speed Racer, pretty good movie. I didn't think it was too bad, I was entertaining. I think it got a very bad rap at the time it was released, though, because it wasn't enough like the actual source material. But I quite enjoyed it. I didn't know a lot about the source material, but I can't remember why I bought this, actually. I was shopping for TVs with my partner, and it was on all the TVs, like, displaying it. And I thought it looked really cool, so I ended up buying it because it looked really cool. And it holds up pretty well. It's got good CGI in it. We got the Spider-Man movies. Many Spider-Man movies. Pretty much all the ones with Tobey Maguire. Spider-Man 3 is horrible, though, and no one should go see it. Topher Grace, you shouldn't have done that. You ruined that movie. But yeah, out of the Spider-Man movies, I think number 1 is probably my favorite. I don't really like Doc Octopus, so I quite like number 1 the best. It's a good origin story. It's too bad they had to remake it so many times now. They just done it once, I think it would have been better. Spy Kids 2, not as good as Spy Kids 1, but it was cheap, so I bought it. Star Trek the movie, I'm not a big Trekkie or anything. I just tried the movie out on a whim, because I heard lots of good things. I did enjoy the first one. I haven't seen any of the sequels, though. Step by Step, this is an amazing 90s sitcom. Part of TGIF. Unfortunately, this DVD's only got like 5 episodes on it. I would love a box set of this, but it doesn't exist yet, so gotta deal with what I can deal with. It's got some really good people in it. I remember really loving Dana on here. She was my favorite character. And I had such a... Is he on there? I don't think he's on... Oh, yeah, Rich. I had such a crush on Rich. In the 90s. I don't know why. Oh, not him. No, his best friend. Not him, his best friend. I don't think it was Rich. But yeah, the best friend of this guy, I had a huge crush on, and I've seen him in a few other things, and I always get excited when I see him and stuff. He mostly does voices now, though. Stranger Than Fiction, one of the best movies about writing. Seriously, I don't think there's very many that are better than this. So, you've got an author whose characters are coming alive, and if she kills them, they'll die in real life. But in order to complete her book, he's kind of got to die. It is a really good movie. Will Ferrell's kind of like serious movie. And you probably don't think Will Ferrell would suit a serious movie, but he does. He's really good in this. I really enjoy it. And I wish he'd do more serious stuff, because he actually does it pretty well. Sugar Rush is a British TV series. Very good series about a girl kind of like coming out. So that's quite cool. Sugar and Spice. Probably the second best movie about cheerleaders, other than Bring It On, because it's about cheerleaders that rob banks, which is awesome. One of them gets pregnant, she needs money, so they start robbing banks, and it's awesome. And it's got Elijah Dushka in it from Buffy. She's in both movies, actually. She likes playing a cheerleader, apparently. She's in both movies. Sunset Boulevard. I don't think I've ever watched that one, actually. I got it, and I got the collector's edition, but it was a cheapo one, so I've never watched it. Sunshine Cleaning, really clever independent movie about people trying to earn money by cleaning up, like, people's, like, murder victims, and people that have committed suicide, cleaning up after them. It's very gross in places, but it is quite funny in places as well. It's a really clever movie. You don't see very much of that, but I think that's a really clever premise. Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd's quite fun. I like Sweeney Todd. I like the Johnny Depp version. It's fun. There is a British version as well. I've never seen the British version, but I enjoyed Johnny Depp in this role and thought the atmosphere of it was pretty cool. Sweet Home Alabama. Gotta be one of my favorite rom-coms. I love Reese Witherspoon. You'll see I have a lot of her movies. She's just so cool. I love her very much, and I have never seen a movie with Reese Witherspoon in it that I didn't like. So I love Sweet Home Alabama. Sweet November, also another rom-com. Not very well known one, though. I think it didn't get that big of a, like, release. Pretty much the woman in it, she dates a guy for a month and then leaves him because she's got some problems. I won't say what they are because it'll spoil the movie. But she can only date them for a month at a time because she doesn't want them to get too attached to her. But of course, Keanu Reeves has to go against that and want to be with her longer than just the month of November. So, it's a really cute movie, really nice. I like it a lot. Sydney White is a retelling of Snow White. It has Amanda Bynes in it. It's not the greatest movie, but it's before she started going crazy. So it's okay. We've got Take Me Home Tonight. I don't know why I bought this. I knew it wasn't going to be great from the fact Topher Grace was in it, but it sounded like a good premise. It's all about the 80s, but Topher Grace, once again, lets me down as an actor. The only thing you can do right is that 70s show, apparently, and you have to have better actors around you to do that. So, not a great movie. Tenure, I've never actually watched, but it's got Luke Wilson in it. That's why I bought it. I love Luke Wilson. He's one of my Hollywood crushes, so probably watch it someday. Never got around to it. The Terminal with Tom Hanks. I have the 2-disc collector set. I absolutely love that movie. It's so good. It's very clever with what it does. It's based on a real story of someone being stuck in an airport for years and years. The original person was stuck in Paris, France, and Charles de Gaulle Airport. But this one, I think he's stuck in, I think it was New York. Of course it's New York. Has to be New York if it's an American movie. So it's either going to be New York or LA, but New York's more interesting. So he gets stuck in an airport and has to live his life in the airport. And it's just about the people he meets in the airport. And it's just a really sweet movie. Really enjoy it. Might have to watch it again soon because now I'm jonesing for it. 3 Colors Red. I've actually seen all the 3 Colors trilogy. Wasn't overly impressed with them. I wanted to like them because I like foreign cinema. I've heard really good things about it. 3 Colors Red is the only one I bought. It's an okay movie. If you're trying out new foreign cinema, it's a good one to try, but it's not the best one. There are much better movies out there, but it's interesting all the same. I mean, some people really love it, but I couldn't get that into it. 3 Men and a Baby and 3 Men and a Little Lady. I'm a child of the 80s and 90s, so I had to love these movies. Yeah, every once in a while, gotta get them out, watch them again. I don't even know how many times I've seen 3 Men and a Baby. I saw it a lot when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite movies then, so. And I like the sequel, but it's set in England. It has really horrible British stereotypes with people with bad teeth all the way through it, and really ugly women. But it's Britain. So it's not that bad. It was one of my first tastes of Britain, so that's interesting.
Right there.
Huh?
Your British followers gone.
Oh, it's not gone. It's a 90s stereotype of Britain in America, and they're all bad. None of them are that good. They never get it right, unfortunately. Tinkerbell and the Great Fairy Adventure. I've never actually watched that one. I've watched the original Tinkerbell movie they made, and of course Peter Pan. Not watched this one, got it cheap, so haven't watched it yet. Torchwood. Torchwood started out really well as a really well-conceived idea, and then it just didn't work. And that's a sad thing. And I can remember I watched Torchwood expecting a lot from it in the first couple episodes, and I remember being quite disappointed. I mean, I tried to give it another chance. That's why I got these DVDs from the library for cheap, but I never really got into it. It wasn't Doctor Who. And it didn't know what it wanted to be, really, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, got a couple of Torchwood. I did quite fancy, I can't remember her name, her with Jack, but I don't even know if it ended up. I stopped caring about the pairing after a few episodes, so it wasn't even that strong of a pairing for me. The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is an awesome actor in a serious role. I mean, he's just done so many good roles as a serious character. He really needs to get more respect that way. The Truman Show is amazing. So is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. He's just good in both those roles. And I rewatched Ace Ventura not too long ago, and I was surprised how much I hated it compared to The Truman Show. It's ruining his acting career. He needs to do more serious roles, because that is a really great movie. 2 Weeks Notice with Hugh Grant, Sandra Bullock. It's okay. It annoys me that there is a punctuation error on the disc that no one apparently caught at the studios. Nice job, Warner Brothers. Yeah, it's an okay romantic comedy. Nothing too special there. Underdog. Did anybody ever see Underdog when it came out as a movie? I don't know. Not very many people. I saw it. It was okay. It's got Jim Belushi in it. Was it Jim Belushi? Yeah, Jim Belushi, not John Belushi, 'cause he's dead, but Jim Belushi, his brother in it. It's an okay movie. It's not great. Apparently it was made by Disney. I didn't even realize that at the time. I was thinking it was a Universal movie, but it's okay. Up in the Air. This movie got lots of good, like, critical acclaim when it came out. But I only thought it was okay. It was a good movie about people traveling around. But I think the Terminal does it much better if you want that kind of feel for a movie. This one's okay, not the best. Vanilla Sky, I've never actually watched. I own it. I got it cheaply. I think I tried to watch it at one point and got bored after 5 minutes and turned it off. So that's how much I think I'll like it if I try again. Venus. Probably people don't remember that one very much. It's about a guy that becomes obsessed with this young woman, and she's like, in the British version, we call them a chav. They're people that are really usually low income, low intelligence. But it really worked for a movie for me, and he becomes obsessed with her. He wants to paint her. And it's a really cool movie. If you get a chance to see it, I would definitely see it. I think it's a really interesting premise. View from the Top, romantic comedy taking place in the world of being a flight attendant. It has Gwyneth Paltrow in it, and it is hilariously funny. It's a really good movie, and I don't think very many people have heard of it, but it just goes through her chronicling her rise as a flight attendant from a really, really bad company up to much better conditions where she's doing international flights. It's got Mark Ruffalo in it as her love interest. Always a good thing. He's a nice looking man. I enjoy it. The Waitress. Really, really good movie again. Really enjoy that movie. There's some bits in it that you wince a bit because she's being abused by her husband. But it's overall a pretty happy movie. It's about someone that she's a waitress for the most part. It's got Nathan Fillion in it, and I can't remember the name of the girl. Oh, it's going to bother me now. She was in Felicity. Was it Felicity? Yeah, I think it was Felicity. Can't remember her name, and that's going to bother me. But yeah, so in order to like get through her really hard life of living with this abusive husband, she starts making pies all the time. And I love the bits in it where she's making pies, and she accidentally gets pregnant, and it's to do with her trying to deal with being pregnant as well and trying to escape from the situation. I just think it's a really nice movie. It's a really nice one to watch. Very happy in places, very sad in others, but it's got a nice feel to the story. I like it a lot. Walk to Remember. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. Such a good movie, but so sad. It's got Ray from ER in it. Oh, I can't remember his name now, of course, because I'm trying to think of it. It's so sad, guys. It's like, if you want a romantic comedy that's gonna, like, make you cry as well, you should watch Walk to Remember. It's a good movie. I love Mandy Moore in it, but it's so sad. Watchmen, the feature film. I've read the Watchmen comic. I've also seen the film. I enjoy the film more than the comic. I'm one of those strange people that does. I really like the bigness of the film. How it, like, kind of creates this whole world. I love movies and books where you have this new world that you're going into. Always like that kind of thing. And Watchmen really does it for me. I like all the characters in it. I thought they were all really interesting. And it was one of my first introductions to comic book movies, so I really enjoyed that one. It's a good one. The Wedding Date. When I first saw this movie, I didn't like it that much, but every time I see it now, I love it more. It's got Deborah Messing in it from Will and Grace, and she's a woman that's looking for a wedding date to go to, I think it's her sister's wedding, and she hires someone to be her wedding day, and of course, you know how that trope goes. They get together. There are so many fan fictions based on this trope. It's a good one for that reason, but I really, really like the movie. I like it more every time. And I love reading fan fictions with that trope as well, so it's a really good movie. Wedding Days, about a couple that get together on a whim. So the guy, the guy from American Pie, it's going to bother me. Jason Biggs breaks up with his normal girlfriend and gets with another girl really quickly. They decide to get married after like about 5 minutes of meeting, and it's just about them dealing with people that are opposed to this marriage. It's an okay movie. It's not great though. Wedding Planner, great movie. Jennifer Lopez's probably best movie. I quite like Jennifer Lopez as an actress, so I really like this movie. I do watch it a lot. Whenever it comes on TV, I tend to put it on as well, so I do like this one. And the DVD is fairly new to me. I haven't had it very long, because I usually just watch it when it's on TV because it comes on a lot, but I do like it. I like how they get together in it, and like how independent she is throughout the movie. I do like that about it. Whale Rider, oh, I can't remember much about it. It's been a long time since I watched it. I think I watched it when I first got it and then haven't. I remember buying it because it was nominated for lots of awards. It wasn't the best movie. It's just about this girl that she's part of, I think it's a tribe where they're all whale riders, and she wants to be the first female to do it. But it's an interesting movie. Not that great, but interesting premise. What to expect when you're expecting. I know I shouldn't like it, but I really, really like it. And it's a good story. Lots of famous people in it. I like all the people in it. So it's got Elizabeth Banks in it. It's got Jennifer Lopez. It's got Anna Kendrick and Carmen Diaz. Lots of good people in it. It's one of these movies where there's lots of, like, different stories and they're all thrown together. But I don't mind those movies if they're done well. I mean, some of them aren't. Like, Valentine's Day was done very badly, but I like New Year's Eve, and I like this one. They're all really good. When Harry Met Sally. Who doesn't like When Harry Met Sally? It's a good movie. It's a very strong movie. Holds up well, even today, even with the bad haircuts. But, yeah, holds up really well. I love Billy Crystal in it. It's like you fall in love with him, even though, like, with the bad 90s perm he had, you still fall in love with him now, so it's really good. Meg Ryan, probably her best movie. I can't say she's got a better one, so it's unfortunate her career's kind of taken a nosedive, because she was really good in that movie. That's not me, that's the boyfriend blowing his nose. Where the Heart Is, absolutely love this movie so much. I think it was one of the first DVDs I bought when I moved to the UK. I've tried to read the book as well. I couldn't get through the book. The book is, like, it's not a huge book, but the print in the book is so tiny it makes it really hard to read as well. And I'm not sure about the style of how it was written. Tells the story of Novalee Nation, who is pretty much like 15 and pregnant. Gets dropped, I think she might actually be 17 and pregnant, but she gets dropped off by her boyfriend at a Walmart, and she lives in the Walmart. If you've not heard of this before, this was so popular in the 90s. It was a great movie for that. So you got a whole sequence of her trying to live in the Walmart, and then what comes afterwards. I ship her and the librarian in it so much. Oh, I love that ship. It's a really great movie. I love her daughter's name as well. And just the relationship she has with her best friend, who's Ashley Judd. Really great movie. If you've not seen it, it's a great, like, chick flick and romance movie. Everybody should see it if you like those kinds of genres. Where the Wild Things Are, I've never actually watched. Like the book, of course, but never watched the movie. Bought it really cheaply. Need to probably watch it. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Very classic Robert Zemeckis. Around the same time he was doing Back to the Future. Everybody loves Roger Rabbit, really. Wish Disney did more with it. I mean, we've got the Roger Rabbit ride still in Japan, and I think it's still in California. Is it still in California? Might be. But they don't really do much with the character Roger Rabbit, which is surprising, because I think the anniversary's passed for it now. So yeah, it's a bit sad that Disney's kind of forgotten about it, because at the time that was a huge achievement to have the merger of animation and live action together, and it just seems to be forgotten about. But it's a great movie. If you've not seen it, you should definitely see it. Lots of cameos from different Disney characters and Warner Brothers, and it was so big at the time because they had this merger deal where they got both on it, the same movie, and that was really cool. So if you haven't seen it, definitely see it. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is the newer version. I do like the older version as well, but I don't own it on DVD. So this is the Johnny Depp version, I believe. Oh, no, it isn't. It is the original one. I don't own the Johnny Depp one. I'm surprised. This is the original one, apparently. Yeah, I like the Gene Wilder one. It is a good one. I don't mind the Johnny Depp one. I mean, I think it works as an update, but it's not the best movie. But they both are, like, classics in my book. I like both of them a lot. So, yeah. So, Charlie and Chocolate Factory. X-Files, the movie. You knew I owned it. Why wouldn't I own it? I love the X-Files movie. I think I saw it in the theater probably 6 or 7 times when it came out, because I was a huge X-Files fan when it came out. And I still love it. I think it's a really well done movie. It ties the series together really well. It does that separation between the seasons, and it just fills in all the blanks on it. And it does a really good job of, like, introducing X-Files to people that haven't watched it before, and also keeping the actual fans. So it's a really good movie. On the other hand, X-Files, I Want to Believe, is not a very good movie, unfortunately. It was a disappointment, to say the least. I don't think you can make an X-Files movie and just have it Monster of the Week. I think that was a major problem when they did it. I'm so glad they revived the series, because otherwise that would have been the last thing we saw. And that was not good. I was very, very pumped about this. The whole fact it was called I Want to Believe, I was so excited and thought it was going to be about the alien colonization, because they kept saying it was going to happen. Around the same time, I think it was in 2012, and I can't remember when this came out. It says 2008, yeah. So it would have been a little early, but yeah, it was a disappointing movie. I like Mulder and Scully together, but they didn't work in this movie at all, and all the side characters were horrible. The whole Monster of the Week was horrible. I don't think anybody liked it. It's not the same thing as Fight the Future, because Fight the Future did the movie really well and tied into the series. I don't think this worked. Luckily for us, we had a revival, so that's okay. X-Men. We have many, many X-Men movies. So we've got the first X-Men, we've got X-Men X2, we've got X-Men Last Stand, we've got X-Men First Class. I do have X-Men Days of Future Past as well, because I love X-Men. I've loved it since I first saw it in the theater. I used to read the comic when I was a kid. Remember all sorts of stuff about the Dark Phoenix saga. Loved all of that. Loved the X-Men TV series. Was a huge fan of that. So I was happy when it came to the big screen. I'm more of a fan of the original movies rather than the reboots. Although I'm trying to like the reboots. I just don't like the reboots as much. I can't get in touch with the actors as much. Don't know how well Sophie Turner's going to be Jean Grey, because Jean Grey's not really a character I like that much, other than when she's the Dark Phoenix. So, don't know. I like Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones, but we'll see if she actually pulls it off. Quite like Jennifer Lawrence, though. Like all the stuff with Mystique. That's the only saving grace for me. So, but like all the X-Men movies. Y2 Mama. Tombien. So that is a foreign movie. Can't remember anything about it. I did watch it. Really can't remember. I think it's about like a road trip. Can't remember it all, guys. If you know what it's about, tell me, because I really don't remember. I remember watching it, but it seems to have gone from my memory. It was like about 10 years ago. Okay. Yes Man with Jim Carrey. Not the best movie, but it's okay. Not his best comedy. It was him trying to be comedic again after he'd done some serious movies. It just doesn't work very well. You Again, good enough comedy, not the best. Has some really, I think, disgusting bits in it, actually, if I remember correctly. Bit silly at times. You I Love, never actually watched it. It's another foreign film. I don't even remember what country it is. Does it say? No. I think it might be Japanese or Korean. Okay. You've Got Mail. Very classic. Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan. As I said, I think Meg Ryan's better in When Harry Met Sally, but she's pretty good in You Got Mail, and I still like You Got Mail, even though it is so dated. I love the bits about her owning the bookshop and their like rivalry between the two. It's a really good movie. Okay, last ones, guys. Zack and Miri Make a Porno. People think this is a really, really horrible movie. It's a really good movie. You should definitely watch it. One of Kevin Smith's best movies. Love so much about it. Love Elizabeth Banks in it. Think she's a great actress in it. Like Seth Rogen in it. Probably my favorite Seth Rogen movie. So you should definitely watch that one. Give it a chance. Zombieland. Everybody loves Zombieland. It's a great movie. You should definitely see that as well. I didn't get to see the TV show, but I still want to if I ever get the opportunity. But it's a great movie and everybody should watch it. And they're coming out with a second one soon, so hopefully I'll encourage people to go see it. And Zoolander. Zoolander is amazing, guys. If you've not seen Zoolander, you need to go see Zoolander. I haven't seen Zoolander 2 yet. I will probably buy it on DVD when it comes out. But I love Zoolander. It's just some of the greatest jokes in that movie. You should definitely go see it. Ben Stiller's best movie by far. And that is it for my DVD collection, guys. I might do some of my partner's DVDs as well, but this is just my stuff. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye! Hi guys, Fangirling with Mel here. Just a reminder, I'm running a 200 subscriber giveaway to thank you guys for getting me this far on YouTube. If you want to enter, there will be a link either above in the little eye there or below. Either way, easy peasy. There's 4 questions to answer, and you need to do that by June the 4th at 5 o'clock UK time. And you have a chance to win the items in this box. So if you want to see more about what prizes I'm giving away or what you need to answer, go to the link below or above. I'll see you guys later. Bye!